So I am finally ready to make a video about Iron Flame, the second book. I have promised once to make this video, this book club video, and here we are. I wanted to make this video before the third book because I would like to refresh it in my memory as well. I honestly do not remember everything. I have my notes, and I hope that while I'm talking about this book, I will remember everything that happened, and I'll be ready for the third book, Onyx Storm. I'll make I plan to make a readathon video about Onyx Storm. So yeah, I hope I'm going to make it. I hope it's gonna work out. While I'm talking to you, I've decided to paint by numbers because I love doing it and I usually don't have time for it. I have this little painting. It's a kitten. Let me open it up. This is how it's going to look like in the end. Only 6 colors. Okay. And a couple of brushes. And look at this, they have this little thing. It's quite handy. I hope that it's steady. Of course, I'm not going to finish it today, but I'll just, I wanted to start it. Oh, that's nice. It's very handy. You won't see what I'm doing, but I hope you will hear. I also have some water. Alright. So let's start with the Iron Flame. I have my notes and my questions for the book club. So let's start. I'll tell you a little bit about the author. And by the way, I have a video about Fourth Wing. It's a book club video, so you can check it out. So Rebecca Yarros, she is the author of the Iron Flame. Iron Flame is the second book of the Empyrean series, as I said. It was released, the Iron Flame was released on November the 7th in 2023. And Rebecca Yarros, she's an American author. She is a military wife. I remember that she has many kids, six kids. Can you imagine? When did she have time to write her books? I can't imagine. I have 2 and I don't have time. Well, so she was writing books for a while, but she was not writing in fantasy genre before. Fourth Wing was her first fantasy book, and as we can see, it was quite successful. I haven't read other books by Rebecca Yarros, so I can't say anything about them, but I loved Fourth Wing, and I think it's a good example of romantic fantasy. It's a good representation of romantic fantasy genre. So if you haven't read any romantic fantasy before, it's a good book to start this journey. I heard of the Fourth Wing book a lot before I started reading it. It was very popular. It's still popular, and I was just interested. What was this hype about? Was it worth it or not? So yeah, and I loved it. It's very engaging. It's definitely page turner, and yeah, I loved the male character, of course. I loved the female character, Violet Soren Gale, and I loved the story. So I tell about this book more, as I said in my book club video about Fourth Wing. Iron Flame is the second book, as I said, and I didn't like it as much as Fourth Wing, even though it was pretty good. I think I saw that some people were kind of disappointed by this book, but I can't say that I know that usually the second book is not as good as the first one. Usually, it's not a rule, but usually. So I didn't have many expectations about this book. Maybe that's why I'm fine with it. There were some parts that I enjoyed. There were parts that I didn't hate them, but yeah, I didn't enjoy them a lot. Oh, I need to start painting. I forgot about it completely. Okay, let me start with number 1. So I was saying there were parts that I didn't like, and these parts, they were quite annoying. So yeah, that's what I remember. I'll start a little bit with the painting, and then I will find the questions for my book club videos, and I'll just start answering those questions. I'm not going to tell what's the book about, because, well, I will answer the questions, and there will be definitely spoilers. So you probably, if you are watching this video, you have probably read this book. Well, if not, then I don't know. Okay, there's not much of number 1. Okay, let me see. I know you can't hear my painting because it's very quiet, but that's alright. Let me find the questions. Okay, so about the stars, how many stars I would give to this book? I think maybe 3 stars. Maybe 3.5. Okay, I will be distracted sometimes. So now I remember. I'm trying to remember. So I think the favorite part, one of the best parts that I liked, and it's going to be weird, was the part where Violet was tortured by Varish. I mean, the whole situation with him torturing her. I mean, I didn't like the fact that he tortured her, but I liked this as a part of the story, and I liked that it kind of showed her strength and her love to a dragon. I mean, it's not love, of course they are kind of bonded and it's more complicated, but she fiercely was protecting her dragon, her second dragon, by the way, which I think is, well, I respect her for that, and Varish is a great villain. Also, when she was tortured in the chamber, that was a good part of it. Like, I liked it as a part of the story, and it was very sad, and it was quite heartbreaking. I remember it was quite hard to, well, not hard to read, but yeah, it was heartbreaking. And the next part that I liked is where Violet and Satan went to, well, she went there with her brother and her sister. Oh, and a funny thing, that her sister's name is Mira, and my daughter's name is Mira. My older daughter's name is Mira. So it's really funny to read about her sister, and I would say that my daughter is also quite, well, like Violet's sister. She reminds me of my daughter for sure. So when they went to that Viscount, I don't remember his name, and when she needed to show her powers, Violet needed to show her powers, so they can get the luminary. So I loved that part. I loved the parts when the characters in the book, especially in the fantasy book, when they travel to some other kingdom or other court or whatever, because it's always fun to read about other setting, or like about the characters that and how they behave in different settings with different characters. And, well, of course, we cannot, we have to mention Catriona, Satan's ex, as we would say, because she belonged to, well, she's the daughter, I don't remember, she's the daughter of the Viscount, right? The Viscount's daughter, and Satan's ex. And did I like Catriona? I don't know. I mean, as a character, I mean, of course, as a person, she's not the best, but as a character, well, yeah, I think she was fine. And another part that I liked, that I enjoyed reading, was the part where they were climbing the cliff do I say it right? Writers. I liked to hear about their schools, about their school, about their college, or whatever it's called, that they are more humane to the students and nobody dies there. And just, about them, because I remember when I was reading the first book, I wanted to know more about them, and here you kind of get more information about how they live and just about them. Okay, I think I finished number 1. There were not many parts with number 1. Just this little stars. And let me see other questions. I lost it. There we go. What surprised you most about the book? I think there were several things that kind of surprised me. Or maybe they did not surprise me, but well, I thought, yeah, it's good. I like it that it's going this way. So first of all, I liked that Dane was back, that he's a good person after all. He was an asshole in the first part. But yeah, the fact that he helped Violet, I did not expect it. I hoped that he's going to help her. So yeah, it's a good thing. And also that her mother, Violet's mom, General Soren Gale, the fact that she sacrificed herself, that was also quite a heartbreaking part of the story. And well, I sort of expected her to die. When everything was happening, I was like, yeah, she's probably gonna die to fix this word. So I was not surprised about it, but I could definitely relate to her, like I would do. I would probably, like she was protecting her kids after all. Maybe she was not the best mom. Like, she wasn't. She was very, yeah, well, she wasn't the best mom, but she behaved as a mom at the end, and she protected her kids. I think, well, yeah, I respected her for that, and I could understand her for sure. Well, and of course, the surprising part is the ending about Satan. I remember I was like, oh no. My friend, she read the book as well, and she was like, yeah, I knew that he's going to be like, that it's going to happen to him. I was like, I didn't expect that. I was like, I was genuinely surprised at the end. I'm sure they're gonna fix it in this third book. genre, in this genre, there's always a happy ending. Almost always, but yeah, I think it's going to be a happy ending. I'm not sure though if the third book is the last one. Maybe not, but I mean, the happy ending for Satan, I think they will fix him and he'll be alright. But it was quite a twist and a cliffhanger. So, Rebecca, thank you for that. I think they will save him. Oh, and answering the question, what I didn't like about this book is this back and forth between Violet and Satan. I mean, it was annoying from Violet's part. Like, she was quite annoying with all this, like, trust issues. I mean, I get it. He didn't tell her everything. But I mean, when would he tell her? After they were having sex? Or like when she expected him to tell her that about like the whole truth? Like, I'm not sure he would tell her before they realized their feelings to each other, because he couldn't trust her. Like, of course, he like, even the fact that he had feelings for her, he couldn't trust her, right? He couldn't just let her know everything, and about her brother as well. Like, how he could trust her. And then, yeah, of course, he had a chance to tell her about everything, but I mean, he had his reasons, and I'm actually on his side. That he didn't tell her. Also, he also has quite a lot of trust issues, and he had a difficult life and childhood, and I think it's very reasonable that he didn't want to open up to her quickly. And she's like, yeah, like, oh, I don't know, you don't tell me anything, like, you don't tell me anything. Yeah, maybe it's me, but I think, like, I mean, I think he would tell her eventually, and of course they, like, love each other and etc., but they still didn't know each other well enough for him to open up like this, to tell her everything. It takes time, girl. So yeah, I think that's the part that I didn't really like about Violet being a little bit obnoxious. Can you say that? Obnoxious. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, about Jack Barlow. Like, I remember in the book club video about the first book, I was complaining about Jack Barlow's character, because I couldn't understand his reasons. Like, his reasons were not very well presented. I was like, why he is so hateful towards Violet. I remember I was like, why he hates her so much, why he wanted to kill her so much. And here in the second book we get some answers, but it's still kind of like, I think he became Venom after he was well, not killed, but when he was like this severely injured by Violet. And survived, or he died, I don't know. And then he survived, and he was made into a venin. I think I remember it correctly. Well, I think he became a venin after she injured him. So I still don't get his reasons fully, but yeah, but there is at least something about him. If you could ask the author anything, what would it be? If we are talking about the second book, what would I ask? By the way, while I'm thinking about this question, I also remember the fact that Adarna, the second dragon, turned out to be a special dragon. That was also a nice part of the story, a nice twist. I liked it, yeah. What would I ask? I think I would ask her why she decided to write a book about, first of all, why she decided to write a fantasy book, a fantasy series, and second, why she decided to use to write about dragons. Why dragons? I think that's what I would ask her. If you had to trade places with one character, who would it be? Yeah, I don't know, not Violet. Definitely not Violet. Maybe her sister, because her name is like my daughter's name. Yeah, I think I talked about the plot twists. I talked about the love story. I talked about the best and worst parts of the book, as I think, on my opinion. What I expect of the third book. I hope it's good. I hope it's better than Iron Flame. I hope it's as good as Fourth Wing. It has to be. It has to be even better. Especially if this is the last book. But I'm not sure. I mean, it's always hard to write the final book, because there's so many expectations. I mean, writing any book of this series, I think it's quite hard, because especially if it's a very anticipated book, because people have so many expectations and they are disappointed easily. But you know what's funny? Violet is not. Well, she was relatable to me in the first book. I think because she's so sort of weak physically, and she was untrained, etc. And we were kind of brought into this college together with Violet, and we kind of experienced it through her eyes, which was very, very nice. But yeah, because she was a little bit annoying in the second book, I think she stopped being relatable. But I don't know, like I'm saying it like I'm a perfect person, right? perfect partner, which I'm not, of course. We all have our insecurities and issues, and of course it impacts our relationships with our partners. So I think it's fine. Maybe that makes her more real. And by the way, I didn't really like this spicy scene. Yeah, I don't remember where it was. It was in some kind of camp where he was sent. Satan was sent, and then she came for him. And Mira was there. Yeah, so it was fine. It was the scene was fine, but it was not the best. I don't know. I was not like, wow. Like, I remember in the first book, I usually don't like the parts, like the sex scene itself. I usually like the tension that leads to it. Well, I think this is it for today. I'm not sure if it was enough for a book club video, but the good thing is that I remembered the parts of the book while I was talking about it. I remembered most of it, and I hope you have remembered everything with me and refreshed it in your memory as well. Actually, I hope that you're sleeping already. That would be great. Anyways, my next video will be not about Onyx Storm because it comes out only on 21st of January, if I remember correctly. So the next video will be something else. I haven't decided yet. And after that, I hope to make a readathon video about Onyx Storm because I have pre-ordered the book, the paper book. So I hope they will deliver it in time. I haven't finished the painting at all. I'll do it next time. Well, you can't see number 2 actually, or maybe you can. It's very light. I think when I will paint this part, it will be brighter and it will be seen. But it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it,